So my name is Noluvuyo Gqadu. I am the founder of an organization called CodeNgwana. And CodeNgwana is an organization that teaches young kids between the ages of 3 to 12 coding and computational thinking. So what I do at CodeNgwana is to help the African child go digital through teaching them how to code or computational thinking skills. And my main role within CodeNgwana is to create a coding curriculum that makes it easy for the African child to understand this whole notion of coding, and also to help them spark an interest within the space. I'm also a children's book author where I write stories of technology for kids. And this is inspired by the fact that in South Africa, we can't build computer labs in all communities due to infrastructural problems. So this therefore has inspired an interest to develop literature which we can take even in the deep rurals of Eastern Cape, where infrastructure or having a computer there is not possible. And one of my latest publications is a coding encyclopedia, which has been translated in isiXhosa and Tswana. And at the foundation of what we are trying to do at CodeNgwana is to make coding accessible, even in African languages. It's to make it accessible to everyone.
How did you become interested in your field?
I became interested in my field in high school after my father had bought me a Windows 95 computer at the time. It was a very big machine. As soon as I got that computer, I realized that computers have a potential to solve problems. And that's when I knew that the path I wanted to take in life was in the computer or technology space. I wanted to solve problems through technology, which then led me to pursuing my studies in the space of technology and information systems.
What do you like about what you do?
What I like about what I do is mainly the research element to my work. And for me, it's not just about let's teach kids how to code because everyone is doing it, because everyone says kids must learn how to code. It's about preparing the future digital workforce, and it's also about contextualizing it within the African context. What does coding mean for us as African kids, or for our African kids, and how can they use technology or leverage the coding skills to potentially solve our problems that we are facing as a continent? So I'm really fascinated about technology. Some of the things that I love about my work is often the faces of the kids I get to teach when I expose them to a new piece of technology. Some of the kids see the technology for the first time in the classroom, and to see the look in their faces and them realizing what is possible through technology gives me a great sense of fulfillment.
How does your work impact others?
My work creates or contributes to the future digital workforce, like I've mentioned. In terms of what we do, we teach kids how to code, and it contributes to being ready, to preparing kids to be ready for jobs that don't even exist. Beyond that, also through the literature that I write, it's contributing to the body of knowledge in terms of what's available for kids to access within technology, what's available for kids to read, and also contextualizing it within the African context using African-based case studies, and not just relying on what the world is saying, for us to contribute to the solution.
Can you show us how we can do STEM at home?
There's various exciting ways which one can think like a coder at home. One of the first things I would like to highlight is that coding is built on the fundamentals of computational thinking. And what computational thinking is in a very brief term, is how computers think and how computers solve problems. So there are 4 principles which computers use to solve problems. One is decomposition, whereby computer will break down data and small problems into small parts to find a solution. Computers also observe patterns and trends in data, and by that they're doing pattern recognition, which allows them to solve for specific problems. A very popular one is algorithms, and algorithms are basically determine what steps are needed to solve a problem. And the 4th principle is abstraction, which removes the detail and extract what is important or the relevant information to solve a problem. And we often do these in our daily lives without even knowing we're doing this. So if you have an interest in introducing a child to coding, these are some of the ways you can apply computational thinking principles in your daily lives to start embedding those skills. The first one is decomposition. If I say to a 5-year-old, make breakfast, it sounds very complex. This is where we apply the principle of decomposition, where you say, make toast, make tea. You take one thing that sounded complex and you're breaking it down into small or manageable tasks. And when you say break a toast, you then list what you need. You need a slice of bread, you need butter, you need to add jam, and you need a toast. Same as with making tea, you need boiling water, you need to add milk, you need to brew the tea. That's something that sounds complicated initially, but you are able to break it into small tasks and kids are able to absorb it. And that's how computers process information. Computers don't process big information without breaking that information into small manageable tasks. The second principle is pattern recognition. And this is one of my favorites because I'm a young mom. We do lots of puzzles with my kids. And pattern recognition is also very popular within the computing space. Computers identify patterns in order to solve problems in many cases. I'll make a simple example of in a case of COVID-19, which we're all experiencing, how computational thinking could potentially be, how computational thinking and pattern recognition could be applied. In the case where you have various patterns of people experiencing the same symptoms, the same flu, this is where we are able to define new variants and say these people now have the Delta variant or the Omicron variant. That's principles of pattern recognition used there to see what's similar and then group those into one problem and try to look for a solution that fits to that one specific problem. When we talk of algorithms, we talk of steps, a set of steps to solve a problem. And we do algorithms every day. And some of the ways which you can help kids in the classroom at home to get into the mode of doing algorithms or to practice algorithms is if you're baking a cake, for example, be deliberate about asking the kids to give the steps. When they do that, they're giving you a set of algorithms. Tying shoelaces. Once a child has tied their shoelaces or brushed their teeth, you ask them, what steps did you take to tie your shoelaces? When they take you through those steps, they are starting to think in a process-driven manner. They are starting to apply algorithms and are able to give a set of steps. It also helps them in terms of learning that they are able to remember things and know exactly what steps they took to come to a solution or to solve a specific problem. The last one is abstraction. And basically abstraction is taking one complex problem and trying to take out what's important or the important elements in it. One example I have on my screen reads as follows. I have 2 orange fish, I have 3 orange cats, I have 2 orange chairs. Now, if you are applying abstraction or doing principles of abstractions, you look for what is common. And what is common is I have orange. So from that text, you abstract I have orange and that becomes what's common. Also, when you're abstracting, you can ask kids to draw their faces, for example, and ask them, take out the eyes, take out the mouth. And they can draw all sorts of things and apply principles of abstracting. So the foundations to computational thinking or coding are stuff that we can all do every day. We don't need a piece of technology or computer to apply those. We can do them in our everyday lives. And when we do those, we're basically building a very strong muscle that even when the kids are exposed to the piece of technology, they're able to apply those principles and excel.